What can you expect in your manuscript decision letter? You're going to find out right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh Hall from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. Today, we're talking about what you can expect when you get your manuscript decision letter back, all right? So your manuscript's gone out for review. The reviewers have looked at it. They've made their recommendations, right? Reject, revise and resubmit. They've written their comments and feedback, okay? They have given that to the editors, all right? The editors have looked over all of that. Now they've made a decision and they've put everything together for you into a letter that is supposed to, if it's not a reject, help you understand what you need to do to try to get that to an acceptance, okay, and get it published. So first of all, if you've got a reject, you're basically going to get a form letter, all right? The editors have a form letter that they're going to give you. I mean, I don't think I've ever, anytime I've gotten rejected, I think I've always just straight up gotten a form letter about a page long, editor saying, hey, we think your idea is really great, but we're not going to publish it, and here's the feedback. Okay, so if you get an outright reject, they're going to give you that form letter, most likely, and then they will include with it all of the feedback provided by the reviewers, and you can decide what, if anything, you want to do with that. But let's say you get a revise and resubmit, okay? What does that letter look like? I'm going to show you my most recent example, so let's go take a look at that. All right, so what you're looking at here is a manuscript decision letter, all right? And what happened is I submitted this manuscript. It's going to be published. This paper is actually coming out in a few months in Research in the Teaching of English. I had submitted it and it got a revise and resubmit. And so what you're looking at here is that letter, okay, telling me what I need to do, what I need to consider, changes I need to make, etc. if I want to move it, right, along that continuum to the next step up after this was accept with some minor revisions, okay? So let's start. This came to me as an email. So let's just start by looking at the length of this. I'm going to scroll so you can see how long this is, okay? This is a lot, all right? Okay, so I'm going to come back up here to the top and sort of break this down for you, because when you get something like this, very, even for me right now, and I've got a lot of experience with this, it's very overwhelming, okay? So, these are, this is sort of the thing that I'm looking for here. Are we rejecting it or are we not? They don't really say here. They do say it further down. But they have two significant areas of concerns that were raised in the reviews. And so what this does is the editors, and I'm not going to walk you through all of this, but because you don't want to hear all this, but they've gone through and they've said, hey, you need to make sure that you pay attention to these two big things in the reviews. That doesn't mean that I can ignore everything else if I don't like it, but it darn sure means I need to get this stuff that you see highlighted right there addressed in my review. So they outline that, okay? All right, and then it said they wavered on whether to issue a revise and resubmit because it seemed like fundamental issues and not a straightforward set of revisions. But they think that possibly, right, I might be able to address these in revisions. And if I was willing to do that, they would be willing to take another look at it. And I was willing to do it, and this moved forward. I do want to sort of take a little side trip here and say one of the things that I know from talking to journal editors is that when people get a revise and resubmit, most people don't revise and resubmit. They just go on to another journal. I don't know if you are out there doing that. I don't know why you're doing that. So if you are a person who, if you get a revise and resubmit and you go, screw it, and you send it to another journal, go to the comments and please tell me why you do that, because I would say like 95% of all articles that I have done a revise and resubmit on have been accepted, okay? All right, so I say that to say this. When you look at this, it looks like, they wavered. They tell me, right? We wavered. They weren't sure if they were they thought, well, maybe we should just reject it. So this seems like I'm taking a risk here. Like I'm doing a lot of work, and I did a lot of work that might end up with a reject. Okay. But I thought it was a risk worth taking. And so I took it and it panned out. Okay. So, and then it tells you, if you choose to revise, let us know. They need to be submitted within 30 to 90 days. I took almost the full 90 days. Okay. My 90 days for this ended around Thanksgiving time. And so I just let them know I was going to have it in right before Thanksgiving because let's be honest, I'm not working on this over a holiday. Okay. All right. So then we get down, and then you get down into the comments, okay? And you get all the reviewers' comments, and this is what you have to break out, and you want to break out and set it up into a table. All right. I'm going to have hard stop up over here. So make sure you watch that because it tells you when you get these kinds of revisions, they're so overwhelming. There's so much of them. How do you manage them? All right. So just on that card that just popped up and make it, and I will show you how to make it happen so it does not overwhelm you. All right, so then you've got all of this is just one reviewer, right? Telling me what to do, okay? You can see all the different things they've commented on. Some of these questions are very straightforward, some are not. There is, here's reviewer 2. Okay, reviewer 2 doesn't have as many comments as reviewer 1. Thank God, right? Reviewer 3, okay? All of reviewer 3's comments. Reviewer 3 has a decent amount of comments. And then, now here's the thing. When you get to reviewer 4, and sometimes you have 4 reviewers, sometimes you don't, look at this. My recommendation is to accept the manuscript with any editing or suggestions provided in the revision process. I look forward to citing this piece in my work and discussing the impact in the field. So reviewer 4 clearly liked my manuscript, but the editors had some serious concerns over whether or not it should be a revise and resubmit or reject. So 1 or 2 reviewers might really love you, but that is not necessarily going to save you from getting rejected, right? It almost happened to me, and I have a reviewer here who's highly supportive of me, okay? So that is what, this is what you can expect when you get a decision letter. So I hope you found that helpful to see an example of a decision letter. And if you like this video and you want more, click right here and I will see you over in the next one.